Welcome to this oral history interview, part of the developing series of interviews focused on African American experiences along Route 66, centered around Greene County, Missouri. My name is Tom Peters, the Dean of Library Services at Missouri State University. This series is supported in part by a grant from the Route 66 Corridor Preservation Program of the National Park Service. Today's date is Tuesday, September 9th, 2014. Our special guests today are George Culp and Homer Boyd, members of the Philharmonics, a vocal group that formed in the 1940s and performed in many venues up and down Route 66 and other places, including regular performances on the Ozark Jubilee, the nationally distributed live country and western variety show that originated here in Springfield, Missouri. George and Homer, welcome. Thanks for being our guests this afternoon.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
So let's begin with a really tough question. We'll start first with you, George. When and where were you born?
I was born in Springfield, and I was born in May the 5th, 1924.
Okay. So you predate, Route 66 was born in 1926, so you're pre-Route 66. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
And Homer, when and where were you born?
I was born here in Springfield, Missouri, and I was born 6 months, 6th day of 1933.
Okay, so you're the youngster of this group.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, now you tell me.
They kept it from you all those years.
No.
And did you both grow up in Springfield?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about how the Philharmonics formed. How did it get started?
We started through a church choir, and we worked in the church at that time, and we was in a young people's choir.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Thompson, I can't think of her first name.
Florence Thompson.
Miss Florence Thompson was the director, so we had a very good time and worked hard at it too.
So when did you decide to sort of start singing in other places outside of church?
Excuse me. It was, I'd say 4 or 5 months after we started going around different churches, and we went to nursing homes and things like that.
Mm-hmm. And what year was this? When the Philharmonics was just formed?
About 1946. Was 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were just back from the war? You served in the war?
Yes, I come out and started work. Excuse me. I worked. Went to the church, and they asked me to come up in the choir, which I did. Next thing I know, I'm in the choir. Next thing I know, we got a quartet.
Homer was too young to be part of the quartet from the beginning. Yeah.
Right, from the beginning. Yes.
Did you notice that these group of guys were starting to sing together? And
I saw them when they used to have a Springfield night here in Springfield, and it was on Route 66.
Yep.
Okay.
And it was downtown. And I happened to go downtown, and I saw the group, and I said, well, this looks good.
Was it right on the square that they sang? Or?
It was right down there on the St. Louis Street,
Okay.
about 2 blocks from the square.
Yes.
Okay.
And they used to sing down there at the, what was it, Chrysler and Plymouth.
Plymouth Chrysler
Yes.
Agency. Yes.
And they'd block up the whole street listening to these guys. So I said, well, later on, maybe one of these days, I may get to sing with these guys.
Did you have to audition, or how did you get on?
Well, I used to do a little singing by myself, and different things. And they came up once and they asked me, they said, how would you like to sing with the quartet? I said, me? They said, yeah. I said, okay. I said,
So what year was this that you joined the quartet?
1950.
Okay. So 46, 50. And then you started singing. When did you start getting some out-of-town gigs?
They started back in the 40s. In the late 40s, they were singing out of town, because you used to go to, where was that, down in South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah, Bennett College.
Yep, at
Yep.
Bennett College, and we did singing there, and also here in Springfield we did quite a bit of
Yes.
singing.
At
Well, it's
Different
different
churches.
different churches, and
Nursing homes.
Nursing homes, yes.
Chrysler dealerships.
Yes, yes, and wherever they needed us, we'd sing. They would sing.
Now, did one of you serve as the manager, or how did you get these? Who handled the business side of things?
One of the guys handled the business, and we had the president of the group, and so we had business manager and president. That's about all we had, and everybody else had to fall in line.
Right.
Okay, and then so the group, gained notoriety, and you started to, the 50s were really a big time for you guys.
Yes.
Yes.
For the Philharmonics.
50s and 60s.
Yeah, that was kind of your peak decades, huh?
That was
The
it.
50s and 60s. So during your peak decades, how far did you travel as a group for various performances? Did you go East Coast, West Coast, or mainly middle part of the nation?
Well, we'd go south,
Uh-huh.
and we'd go southwest, and we'd go east sometime,
Uh-huh.
and then we'd go north, south, east, and west, wherever made money.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. One of the deals I liked was when we went to Aberdeen, South Dakota. It was cold and snowy, but it was great. It was
Uh-huh.
great. Yes, sir.
It was a good performance.
Yes,
good,
sir.
Good crowd.
Yes, it was a car show,
Oh.
and they wanted us to come in and sing for them. We did.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. And did you always drive?
Most of the time, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I suppose train travel was an option at some point there.
No, most of the time when I got with them, we drove. Most of the time we drove. We had our own car and everything.
Yeah. So
We
it's
had
just
a
the four of you?
9-passenger Packard.
Five.
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 It's 5 in the group.
Okay.
We had a 9-passenger.
When did you add the
Packard.
fifth guy to the? You were the fifth.
Yeah, he was the fifth.
That was
Okay.
the feel.
Yes.
So you traveled all over as a group and traveled by car, by and large.
Yes.
So do you have any recollections of traveling on Route 66 up to St. Louis, or did you go over to Tulsa, Oklahoma City?
We used to go to Tulsa. We used to go to Oklahoma City. We used to go to down in for rodeos and stuff down in Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
And then we used to go to J-Bar H Rodeo up in Camdenton, Missouri.
Uh-huh.
And we used to go to St. Louis and Chicago and different places like that on Route 66.
Okay. So what memories do you have? Just if I said, well, what do you remember about Route 66 back in the days of the Philharmonics, and what comes to mind?
Well, there was a place where we used to eat.
Uh-huh.
It was nice. It was called the Garbage Can. It was, oh, you'd love it.
Where was it?
It was in Springfield, right up by Jefferson City.
Yeah.
It was right up by Jefferson City.
Okay.
And it was 2 little old ladies that ran the place.
Uh-huh.
And everything was homemade. And we would stop there and have breakfast, or if it's in the evening, we'd stop and have dinner or something like that. But they were really nice.
Uh-huh.
And the food was excellent. And you had to be very particular about where you ate because you couldn't eat every place.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. So, how did you know where you could eat and where you could sleep when you were on the road?
Well, while we were on the road, we found out places that we could eat, and then we found out places we couldn't eat.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So what we would do, if we was on 66 and some place along that way that we knew that we couldn't eat, we had to go to the grocery store and buy missed ham, crackers, and things like that.
Yes.
Eat.
Right.
So that was.
We'd have a picnic out there, outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know a place to get a meal, you just get your own groceries.
We'd get our own groceries,
Yeah.
and guy that used to talk about that all the time was Speedy Hallward.
Yes.
He used to travel with us a lot. He didn't know these things was going on.
Oh.
See, and then he found out for himself how things was going on. And we'd send Speedy into to the grocery store. Speedy go in, buy groceries, and come back out, and we'd have a picnic.
Yeah. Now, was he another performer, or what? Who was
Yes,
Speedy?
he played a lot of guitar.
A lot of guitar.
A lot of guitar.
He was on Jubilee,
Oh, yes.
radio, and
Everything.
TV, and
Yeah.
things like that.
Now, back at that time, there was a guidebook called the Greene Book that would tell African Americans where they could get a good meal, where they could get a room. Did you ever hear about the Green Book? Or?
No, just now.
I wish you had
just
known
now.
about the Green
Yes.
Book.
You would just ask and say, okay,
Yes.
we're going this direction.
Yes.
Yes.
Where can we get dinner? Or where can we
Yeah.
get breakfast tomorrow?
Yeah, if like he said, if we find out we couldn't eat there, we would go to a grocery store and get groceries, and we'd eat.
Yeah.
We stayed full,
Yeah.
as you can see.
Yeah. You're with us today, so you managed
Yes.
somehow.
Yes, yes.
When you were traveling on Route 66, did you feel like it was a different kind of highway than any other highway? I mean, now Route 66 has this kind of aura about it, but back then it was just, we're going on 66 rather than whatever, another numbered highway to get to where you needed to be. Did you feel like, oh, we're on 66 now or something? Was it kind of a jumping road or something?
No, that was the quickest way to from point A to point B.
Yeah.
And we take 66. Well, we didn't have to figure out which way we were going to go. We didn't have to go down one way and then cut over. We could get on 66 and go and then cut off of Route 66,
Right.
and then take us right to just about where we wanted to go.
So you'd often take 66
Yes.
as almost just the quickest way.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Anytime we had to go do a show, and we just take out on 66 and go, like we go in Jersey City, we go 66,
Yeah.
and then in Oklahoma, same way.
Now, would you only travel during certain hours of the day, or would you travel all night? And
Oh, we did the night driving.
Yes, we were night drivers.
We were night driving.
You always did night driving. So you.
Yes.
No, we drive day. We wouldn't drive in the day because we drove all night.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We'd see 3 of them would sleep, and we'd be driving all night. We'd keep each other
So
awake.
you two guys were the drivers?
We were the drivers.
Designated night drivers?
Yes.
Did you take some test or something? Like,
No. No. We just do it. And then see, we had a 9-passenger Packard that we had. It had jump seats in it.
Okay.
It was like a family car.
Yeah.
And we'd have 3 guys in the back, and they would put the seats down, and they would put their feet up, and they'd sleep
Okay.
during the night. And then in the daytime, at daybreak, we was just talking about that. At daybreak, first thing we tell them, all right, somebody else's time behind this wheel, and we'd go back and sleep.
So what was a typical, if you're gonna perform in St. Louis, would you go up you're singing at night, usually, maybe not, I don't know. When would you go up before, and then immediately when the show ended, you'd get in the car and drive to the next place, or
Sometimes we
drive
would.
right back?
Sometimes we was talking about that. We was in Chicago. We did a show in Chicago, and we had to be in Wichita, Kansas the next morning at 10 o'clock for a rehearsal. So we drove all night.
Yes, we did.
We drove all night, and we did our rehearsal, and we did the afternoon show, and then we went away for a while. Yes.
Yeah, we were out of it.
Yes.
Was it grueling?
Yes.
Just being on the road?
It was.
It was.
But we talked to each other. We
Yes.
kept the radio on and things like that to keep going. We didn't. We never did go to sleep.
No, we
I don't think
didn't go to sleep,
No, we
or
never
we
did.
rehearsed sometime on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just
Keep
rehearsed.
practice.
You got everybody in there, and you
Yeah.
got a captive audience. So, we just started singing, and we rehearsed a few songs.
Yeah. Now, I've never been part of a group, but what did it feel like? Do you feel like you were brothers? Did you feel like you were
Yes, sir.
Better than that.
Yes, sir.
closer than brothers?
Closer than brothers.
Yes.
You sort of knew each other, and
Yes. Yes.
somebody need a little bit of distance or something.
Yes.
You knew,
Well, except me. They wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do. I could do so much, and then they'd stop me right quick and say, "That's it. Cut it off."
yeah.
And that's it. Like I said, everybody you know, people are looking for models, they're looking for role models. I've always had role models in front of me because he was the closest thing to my age.
Uh-huh.
And they would let me do some of the things I wanted to do, but not everything.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So he was like your big brother.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He'd tell you when enough's enough. Or,
Yes. And mean it.
Yeah, that was the fun of it, because we were so close.
Yes.
Nobody could get into the group to find out anything, nothing. We wouldn't let nobody come
No.
into the group and try to find out something. We
Yeah.
wouldn't do it.
Now, how many of you were married at the time that you were a group?
Four when we started out.
Four of them was married.
Oh, okay.
One of them wasn't.
Yes.
That's why they had to keep an eye on you. Huh?
Thank you. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was.
And everything, and we had to, and they took care of everything. They take care of home
Yeah.
and on the road too.
Yeah. Now, when you traveled up and down 66 and other places, did you have like a booking agent or something? So you'd say, okay, we're gonna go to Chicago, and then we're gonna go, go to St. Louis, and then we might have 3 gigs in St. Louis over 4 days or something. And we'll go up to Chicago and do these
Yes.
3 gigs. And
Well, we had ourselves in Top Talent.
Yes.
Top Talent.
okay,
It was a booking agency here. They would book everything out of the Ozark Jubilee.
okay,
And see, they would book us, and they would tell us, you know, we'd come in, they'd say, you guys, you got a gig next week for such and such a place, and we'd go and do it.
okay.
Yes.
So the Ozark Jubilee started as a radio program, correct? And then switched to television?
Well, when we went on, it was TV.
Okay.
When we went on
When you
TV.
first got
Yes,
involved.
but I think you're right. It was a radio station,
Yeah.
a radio show.
Okay.
Yeah, see, when they started, I wasn't with them when they first started.
Yeah,
I was in Korea,
yeah.
and they started, and they used to have to travel to Columbia, Missouri,
Missouri, yeah.
Uh-huh.
and they'd do the show, and then they'd
Oh,
come
that's
back
right.
home.
That's right. The early shows were done in Columbia.
Yeah, and then when I'd call them, they'd tell me what was going on,
Yeah.
something like that,
Okay.
you know.
Now, all 5 of you were based out of Springfield, correct?
No, one of them was from Kentucky,
Kentucky,
Oh.
yeah.
Henderson, Kentucky,
Oh,
and he came here because of O'Reilly Hospital.
okay.
His brother was at O'Reilly Hospital, and he came here to see about his brother. His brother was in World War II too, but he had gotten hurt, and he came here to see about him, and then he ended up staying here.
Yeah.
Okay.
He drank the water.
So when you were like singing on the Jubilee, were you in town for the whole week, or would you go out and do another gig and then come back? Jubilee was generally on Saturday nights, wasn't it?
Saturday
Saturday
nights,
night, yeah.
and what we would do, we'd do a show at Jubilee, then we'd pack up and go to
Branson.
around Branson, and do a show down there. Yeah.
During the week, or?
During the week, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Oh, okay.
So
So then you do-
Saturday, when we get through with Jubilee, we'd go down to
Branson.
On 65, probably.
No, we was on
It
60.
60, yes.
Oh, okay.
That was 60,
Okay.
yes.
When you were in town, did you ever have black acts come into Springfield and they kind of asked you, okay, where can we eat, where can we sleep,
Yes,
what can we do?
yes,
If you need a haircut, where can you get my haircut?
yes.
What would you tell them if a black act were coming in, singer?
One of the
musician?
guys in the quartet was a barber.
Okay.
He was a barber, and so, but he was a good one too.
Yes.
And he would take care of our hair. And then they had different places where they could sleep. You know, I remember that they.
It's all right.
I remember they came. Who was it? Her husband came here, and they was looking for a place to stay, and they didn't have a place to stay. And Graham's Barbecue.
Yeah.
That's when he built cabins behind his place where the people would have some place to stay that when they came here. Harold Bailey and her husband came here.
Uh-huh.
And they didn't have a place for them to stay. They couldn't stay at the hotels or anything.
Yeah.
So he built cabins for them to stay.
So they stayed at Graham's
They stayed at Graham's.
Yes.
cabins?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's still one of those cabins existing?
Yes.
Yeah, still one.
That's
It's hard,
why it's there.
hard to find. Still
That's
there.
why it's there.
That the one that Pearl Bailey stayed in? Or?
Well, it could have been. I don't know for sure, but it could have been.
Yeah.
But I know she, her and her husband came here, Louis Belson.
Uh-huh.
And then they came here and they couldn't find a place to stay. And
Yeah.
not only that, Mahalia Jackson came here and couldn't find a place to stay.
Uh-huh.
A lot of them came here and couldn't find a place to stay because they couldn't stay at the hotels or
Right.
anything.
Would
And
they come and would they come and ask you, where can we stay? Where can we?
Well, Graham's was usually there.
Yeah.
And they'd stop there.
So Graham's was sort of the main place to stay.
Yes.
They ever go to Alberta's?
Yes.
Yes. we
Later.
do.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So Alberta's was a little more recent entry. And,
It was.
Yeah.
It was, because that used to be the city hospital.
Uh-huh.
See, that was the only one they had here
Uh-huh.
for a while.
And she had a cafe too, Alberta did, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you ever eat there?
Yes.
Pretty good?
Yes.
Very good.
Okay. You remember anything in particular that was on the menu? And
Beans and cornbread for me.
He had
Beans.
these cornbread. I'd have
I just love
I'd have a chicken sandwich and what was it? Apple pie. Slice of apple pie.
yeah. So back in the days of segregation, so let's go back to Graham's Rib Station, I believe it was called, was the
Yes.
official
Yes.
name. And would white folks come and eat at Graham's?
Yes.
Yes, they would.
Yes.
Ever bother you that, well, I can't go eat here, but they can come
Not
and
at
eat
all.
here?
No.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Never bothered us at all.
Yeah.
And we eat at Grimm's, and Grimm's was nice. They was good. They was good to us.
Uh-huh.
It was good to me because as a teenager, I would try to slip in there and try to see if I could do something illegal. First thing he'd tell me is, out of here. He told me, he said, when you get to be 21, he said, you come back and I'll give you all the beer you want.
Oh, they serve beer.
And he did.
Yeah.
He did. When I turned 21, I told him. And he told me, he said, what did I tell you? I said, you told me I could have all the beer I wanted. And he did.
Uh-huh.
He said, go back there and help yourself. I drank one beer. He said, that's it? I said, that's it. He said, you got to be kidding me. I said, well, you used to bug me all the time, and now you just want one? I said, yeah, it's not any fun anymore. I'm legally buying. Yes.
Alberta had a farm out west of town too. Did you ever go out to Alberta's farm, about 10 miles west of town?
Yeah, it's out off of college out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know what all she had out there. I know she grew vegetables for the hotel and cafe.
Well, and that was about it. And then she had a little, after a while, then they had a little place out there. They would have a little place, they opened it up, and they would sell beer and stuff, to
Uh-huh.
people that came out there. But that
Picnic
was
stuff.
about it. It was nice. It was on up and up.
Yeah,
It was good.
yeah. So did you guys ever have a chance that you didn't, as there was Saturday night and you didn't have a gig, you could actually have some fun, or?
Not too often.
Yeah.
No.
Well, let me put it this way: if you ever wanted to have fun, where would you go in Springfield?
Not too many places. Well,
No.
we'd go to Alberta's or Graham's. That's about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't too much to offer here in Springfield. Or the Ritz Club. We used to go to the Ritz Club.
Used to go to the Ritz Club?
That was out there by
66.
66.
College.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
an old 66.
Was it integrated? Was anybody going to the Ritz Club that was of age, or?
Well, as long as you was of age,
Yeah.
and it was integrated because we used to have apron and overhaul parties out there, and Speedy and all them guys used to come out there sometimes.
Yeah. What kind of parties did you call them? Apron.
Apron and overall.
Apron overall, yeah.
You wore apron.
Aprons
The,
or
the
overall?
women wore aprons.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And the men wore overall.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of country western.
That was a certain type of. If you knew it was going to be that kind of a party, then you knew what to
Yes,
expect. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Back to Route 66. When you were traveling on Route 66, what was it like? I mean, was there a lot of traffic? Was it, did you feel like, was it diverse in any way? I mean, did you see other black travelers on the road and Hispanics, or was it mainly white folks, or do you remember? I mean, it was just...
Well, actually, you didn't hardly pay it too much attention because Route 66 then was only 2 lanes.
Yeah.
You know, and you was busy.
You just didn't want to make sure they crossed the center line.
You got it. That's what it was.
Plus, it
all
was
about.
night, too, so...
Yeah.
Or you saw his headlight.
No, in the daytime, we traveled during the day too.
Yes.
See, we traveled day and night.
Yeah.
And, you know, we didn't have too much problems. Only when we got in the deep south, when we had problems. You know, we'd go to Oklahoma. We'd
Yeah.
go down to Oklahoma to down there to the college, and we'd go down to Arkansas to the college in different places, and we'd sing at the colleges and places.
Yes.
See.
But troubles, it turns out, there were towns that were called sundown towns. And
Yes.
if you were
Yes.
black,
Yeah.
you were not welcome at come sundown.
Well, you're true. I mean, you're saying the right thing, because we used to go down to Forsyth and entertain down there.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the people they said, no, they can't go there. But the people that owned them told them, said, yeah, they're coming down here and they're going to entertain. Said, don't let us have to come in and sue the city council. Because they said they would. Yeah.
See, and we were down there during the 50s.
Yeah.
56, we started down there in 56,
Right.
down in Branson.
And if I remember correctly, well, the Jubilee was going on at the same time. So
Yes.
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 Mhm.
And this is at the golf course that you told me about in July?
Tapello's Country Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Met a lot of people there.
Yes, we did.
But was it integrated in the mid-50s?
Not really. I guess it would have been, but
Maybe.
we didn't take anyone down there.
Yeah.
But it was same thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
We had our own band
Yeah.
down there.
Oh.
I know it was 10 of us down there at the time,
Oh,
and we had our own band.
yeah.
See.
So you were there in the 50s before the Branson entertainment phenomenon really
Believe
took
it.
off. And, yeah.
Believe me, they came in 59,
Yeah.
and we came in 56,
Yeah. Okay.
but we had a ball,
Yeah. Good.
and we had fun.
Yeah. Now, how far west did you go on 66? Did you go all the way to the West Coast ever? Did you ever play the West Coast?
No, we didn't play the West Coast,
Okay.
but we went to,
I think, did we go to that place in Texas? We were.
Texas,
well,
Amarillo.
Amarillo.
You played
Amarillo,
Okay.
Amarillo, yeah, we
I know.
played in Amarillo.
What was it? Do you remember? Was it a...
Oh, Horace Height.
Horace Height.
Oh,
was
yeah.
down
The
there.
Horace Height show. We did a Horace Height
Height
show. We did that in Texas, and we also did it in
Mississippi.
Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Vicksburg,
Okay.
yeah.
That was a live show?
Yes, that
Yes.
was live.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was live with Horace Height.
Okay.
And at the time, Horace Height had, what's his name? The guy who played trumpet.
Oh, you talking about,
Well, they had Pete Fountain. He was with Horace Height. Doc Severson.
Doc Service.
He was
Yeah.
with Horace Height.
Yeah.
In fact, he wrote the music for us when we sang on the Horace Height show.
Really?
He wrote up our music.
Doc Severinsen did.
Doc
that.
Severson. Yes.
You remember anything about that Amarillo trip? Where'd you stay? Where'd you eat? You remember any of that?
We stayed in Amarillo, didn't we? Yeah, we stayed down in Amarillo.
I think so.
At a motel.
Yeah.
We stayed at a motel.
Uh-huh.
And then we came back the next day. We left the next day and came back to Springfield.
So you must have gone
Yep.
66 all the way.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I
came
agree.
back up through Oklahoma that way.
Yeah.
I remember I bought a pair of boots down there. And-
Cowboy boots?
Yes,
Yeah.
sure did. In Amarillo,
Uh-huh.
at the boot factory down there, Acme Boot Factory.
Okay.
Sure did. Loved it.
You mentioned your memory of the garbage can, was it called?
Yes.
Any other fond memories you have of traveling Route 66?
Well, the guy used to travel with us all the time, backwards and forth. He lived in St. Louis, Bernie.
Bernie
Orey. Yeah, he traveled with us all the time.
He traveled with you was it?
Well, he was a good friend.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
He was a good friend, and he worked for Bristol Myers,
Uh-huh.
and he traveled with us. And he was just a good friend, still a good friend today.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, he's still
But
alive.
he would just want to be with the Philharmonics and.
Well, he helped us along
He did.
as much as he could.
Uh-huh.
He helped us along.
How'd he help you?
Well, people.
Okay.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
In show business, you got to know the right people, or it doesn't do any good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he helped us as much as he could.
Yes. Any other fond memories?
Well,
That you can tell us?
no.
Well,
That's like someone told me, he said, "Oh, you was with Red Foley?" I said, "Oh, yes." They said, "Well, you can give me some stories on Red Foley." I said, "No, I can't." They said, "Why not?" I said, "Because if I tell on him, I tell on me." I said, "And what's the first law of nature? Self-preservation." I said, "So we're not telling any stories on Red Foley." He was a good man.
Yeah.
yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Very
he was a good man. He
Yeah.
never asked you to do anything he wouldn't do himself.
Yeah.
See.
Did you have any negative experiences on Route 66 that you remember? Anything from a car breakdown or?
Oh,
In Tennessee, that's the only place we had.
well, we broke down. No, we broke down in Kansas. We also broke down in Missouri.
In Missouri, yeah.
Yeah, we broke down in Missouri.
Yeah, what'd you do?
We were on our way to
Nashville.
Nashville to do some recording, and we broke down before we got there.
Yes.
Yeah. We went down 60.
60,
We went
yeah.
down 60.
Yeah.
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 And so when you broke down, what did you do? I mean, there's no.
Well, we waited
No
until
tow
the
truck
next
waiting.
morning.
Yeah.
Well, we got a tow truck, and they fixed it up a little bit, didn't they? So we drove it back. They took it to a place and fixed it. We went back down a couple of days later and picked up our car and drove it back.
Yeah.
But the state patrol called us and asked us, was anyone hurt? We told him no one was hurt. Pardon me. So he said, "I'll see you in the morning." That was it. No big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you traveled along Route 66, performed in various places, some of the, St. Louis I think's always had a pretty large black population. You ever play, Amarillo probably doesn't have a big black population, I'm guessing.
They had a nice population, but it wasn't that many blacks there. But
Yeah.
it was nice because we went into one place. Remember, we went in that place, and on the outside it looked just like a regular place. But when you got inside, it looked just like a casino.
Yes.
Oh.
It was beautiful inside, And I said, "What kind of place is this?" So then, it was fun. wasn't too bad. Some places you'd go, and even in Mississippi, same thing. Some places you'd go, some places you couldn't.
Yeah.
But they had a lot of their own places,
Yeah.
that you could go down there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of places you could go, a lot of places you couldn't. We've experienced that always.
Kind of play both kinds of places.
Yes,
then,
even
right?
here in Springfield, we experienced a lot of
Yeah.
that.
So where did you perform some of the white venues? Did you perform in Springfield?
In Springfield?
Yeah.
Oh,
All over.
just name it.
Yeah.
Yes, all of them. The Shady Inn,
Shady
the Elks Club,
Yep, yeah, we did the Elks
every
Club
place,
and-
and then most churches here and around this area.
Yeah.
We did most of the churches.
And you'd go to the hospitals,
Yes.
nursing homes.
Yes,
we
we
did.
had a group. Pardon me. We had a group that we used to go to different nursing homes and stuff. Once a week, we'd go to a nursing home,
Uh-huh.
and we had our own little group. We put it together. It was just people here in Springfield.
And that's what you did, was go to nursing homes once
Yes,
a
we
week?
went to nursing homes
Yeah.
and hospitals and stuff like that.
Yeah, just kind of like a public service? You just
Yes.
do it, yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
we did.
yes.
Most of that was just,
Yeah.
Yes. Because I remember, like, I used to tell people, this lady told me when I was young, we went to one place to sing, and she told me, she said, always remember, the good you do will come back to you, and it don't cost that much. And she was right. She's right.
When you traveled Route 66, did you ever have any terrible snowstorms, weather, tornadoes, hail?
They did they did when they went to South Dakota. When they went to South Dakota.
Oh, yeah.
And here we from Branson one night, we tried to outrun a tornado, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. They said a tornado was coming up from down that way, and we tried to beat it back here to Springfield.
Did you?
Yes. Yes.
All
We're
right.
still here.
Yeah.
Were there any, there's stories along Route 66 that there were, there's Devil's Elbow and some areas that were just
Yeah.
notoriously a lot of wrecks and, very dangerous. As you traveled up and down 66 all the time over the years, right?
Yes.
And did you sort of, after a while, did you sort of know, okay, I got to pay attention now and get women into this difficult stretch here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, like I said, God was good to us. We could have had it many a time, but we didn't.
You never had an accident? Never had a moving accident?
The one that we were going to Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
We had that one accident. That was the only accident we had in the group.
Wow.
It was,
All those years of travel?
yes,
All those years of traveling.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
And 66 was, like we said, a 2-lane. It wasn't a
4-lane or 6-lane like
It was no
is
big
now.
deal. You didn't feel like, oh, I'm on 66 now, or now I'm turning off 66. And,
No,
No.
no. You just go to a certain town and then you cut off there and go to another
Yeah.
part.
So how have your thoughts and memories about 66 changed over the years? Because now 66 like this mythic road, and 60 nobody talks about 60. So what do you think about 66 today? You think, wow, I was driving on 66. We were moving up and down 66 all the time.
Well, I thought 66 to me, or to the group, I think, that when we would travel up and down 66, it was just a road that we knew. We knew that road, and it's just like you said a while ago about that Devil's Elbow. We knew exactly when the Devil's Elbow was coming up, and we knew what to do to get through that.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Was there a lot of truck traffic on 66?
I don't think so. At
Not
that
as
time.
much as they've got now.
No, I don't think
No.
so. No.
It's
Okay.
loaded now.
Mainly passenger cars.
Yes,
most
and not everybody had a car, and like now, there's 6 cars in every household, just about,
If it's only 4 people, there's
Right,
6
that
cars.
may be, because it was just me and my wife, and we had 3
Yeah.
or 4.
Yeah. Now, living in Springfield, did you feel that, was there some pride you took in, like, 66 comes right through our town? And
Yes.
This was did you ever think of did you ever knew this was the birthplace of Route 66, that Springfield was the?
To us, we thought that this was Route 66 was the highway. That
Yeah.
was it. But we knew that Route 66 come out of Chicago.
Uh-huh.
Come out of Chicago.
Goes all the way to L.A.
Yeah.
Yes.
St. Louis, Joplin, right on the street.
Yes.
So if, it was a source of civic pride that Route 66 goes through our town.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And then when they came out with the music, that was better.
Yeah. You remember when that was like first released? Did you like, oh yeah, they're talking about, singing about it?
Well, no, we sang it. We sang it.
Yeah.
I think Nat King Cole was the one that
First
He
one
was
to come
there
out
first.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we sang it.
Yes. You sing it on the Jubilee?
Yes.
Yeah, we possibly did.
They would let us sing on the Jubilee just about whatever we wanted to. We sang some of Elvis Presley's music. We sang, it didn't make any difference, Eddie Arnold. We did Eddie Arnold's show too.
Yes.
So we did different shows.
Uh-huh.
And we did what, they kind of let us do whatever music we figured we was safe with.
They trusted you.
Yes,
You're,
yes.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
Anything else that you want to share about your experiences with Route 66?
Nah, we had a good time. That's it. That's all we did. We had a good time.
You were having good, you know, they were happy years.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Yes, they were. And cause we used to travel, and like I said, we were so close.
Yeah.
Then see.
What was the speed limit back then? Remember?
35.
35.
35 or 40.
40, yeah.
40, but
Yeah.
we did 50,
So it took
55.
It took a while to get from point A to point B.
You
Huh?
do the runs.
Everybody else, we drive over speed.
Yeah, we drive over speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
Did you ever
to
get
where we
tickets?
was going. No tickets.
No, sir.
No tickets.
And not only that, we never did have our name on the
No,
car.
we didn't put our name on the
Put
car.
our Name on the car.
So you're just.
But they knew, some of them knew us. We'd go through, what was that? Nixon. We'd
Yeah.
go through Nixon, and the chief of police, I mean, not chief, but the
Sheriff?
sheriff,
Oh, yeah.
he'd stop us, we'd talk to him, he'd go, okay, we'll see you later.
Yes.
He just stopped you to say how you doing?
Yes.
How things going?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of like a known quantity. You go traveling around the area. And
Well, they
traveled
know
so
who you are.
much.
And like I said, everybody knows that on any given night, you're going to see 5 guys driving up and down the highway.
Yeah.
You're going to see them. And you know they're going to someplace. They're either going to sing or coming from singing.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
You think other African Americans in the Springfield region, do you think they have a different experience of Route 66, or they were just, you know?
They probably did. Some of them probably did. Probably had different experiences that we
Yes, they
did.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so many of them traveled
Right.
Route 66.
And we were known.
Yeah.
Every place we went, just about. See, everybody knew who we were.
Yeah.
See. They said, we know you guys. One guy said, you guys must sing.
Yeah.
We go, how did you guess?
Once you got on the Jubilee, did you ever have people like they would know who you were, and they
Yes.
would, you know, they would just say, oh, it's the Philharmonics.
Yes.
Did you have like a fan club?
Yes. Yes, we had our own fan club.
Groupies?
Some groupies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nah.
Yes.
Georgia's saying no. And
Ooh,
maybe that's the
don't
difference between the older brother and the younger brother.
He's one of the married ones.
And your experiences on the Jubilee were positive. They gave you creative freedom, it sounds like.
Yes.
And
They did, yes.
Yes.
treated you well.
Yes.
Do you ever have any nights on the Jubilee where it was something was going wrong? You know, I think
Well, you know, in
Technologically,
show business,
Yes.
show business
Someone
is
didn't
like
show.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
Yes.
I can't remember the time, but it seemed like to me that we were trying to get on the stage, and we were one place, but we were supposed to be another place.
Yes.
So that was kind of strange, but.
I mean, you were just not you missed your mark, as they
Missed
say.
the mark.
You missed your mark,
Yeah.
and that threw off the cameraman.
That's
and,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, threw everything off.
George, I was going to ask you. So you would have been a young boy when Route 66 was formed, and then it took them, you know, a while to pave it. It wasn't paved.
Yes, sir. Blacktop.
Yeah. Do you remember? You know, do you remember the building of Route 66 was in the area that they were? Oh, they're working on 66 now.
They were working on different spots. I can remember different spots, and especially spots close to Springfield. I could remember that. And then, of course, my family, we traveled. We didn't travel that much up 66, but some of our people lived up that way. In fact, now we have people who live in St. Louis and so on and so on like that. So. Yes.
You remember that? Do you remember? Did you ever travel along Route 66 as a boy?
No, I never did.
Uh-huh.
No, I didn't. No.
Yeah.
My dad We had an old piece forward, and it wouldn't make for a walk.
35 was pushing it. Huh?
You couldn't drive that car on 35. No.
And when you were in the service, did you ever travel on 66 through troop movements, or I don't know where you were stationed?
Of course, I was stationed in Texas, so only time that I traveled on 66 is going to Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they inducted me in Kansas City, and then I went to Texas to do my basic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you serve overseas at all then? Or?
No, I
Uh-huh.
didn't.
Yeah.
I stayed here in the States,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know. I'd like to go. The group that I was with, they were tough, and I would like to go with them, but I couldn't.
Anything else you want to add about your the Philharmonics on Route 66? I guess is the
No, we had a good time.
yeah. And I'm correct that you're the two surviving members.
Two
Right.
surviving. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All the rest of them are gone. They're waiting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're going to have some good gigs.
Yes, I hope.
yes, indeed.
Just so it's not hot.
Yes.
Yes, yes, but we had a good time.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I things that I knew about 66 years, you've already heard them and everything.
Yes.
That's about it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we used to travel.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much for participating in this interview.
Let
Yeah,
me
yeah.
jump in and
Sure.
ask one or two questions. I've been doing oral history over the years, and hearing you gentlemen talk, I wonder if you could each talk a little bit about what it was like growing up in Springfield, and maybe what it's like now. What, you know,
the
when you
difference.
think about your childhood, your teenage years, how do you think it's different, say, for Randy or young people now? Not that Randy's a young guy, but
Oh, Ricky there?
Rick,
Oh.
I'm sorry. But how has Springfield changed, do you think, from
Quite
your
a
youth
bit.
to now?
It is quite a bit because even in Springfield, there's places you couldn't go.
Yes.
And especially the movies. Now we could go to the Landers, but you had to go upstairs all the time.
Be in the balcony.
In the balcony.
That's
Now, how
it.
did you learn where you could go and where you couldn't go?
When we grew up,
You just
that's the
knew.
way we, yes.
Yes.
You just knew.
the older ones told the young ones where to go.
Don't go here, go here.
Yes.
Yes, you can't go here and you can't go there.
Yes.
Swimming pools?
We only had Silver Springs.
There's one pool that we could swim in.
Silver Springs.
Yes.
I remember when I came back from the Army
Mhm.
and I went out to fast nights.
Yeah.
And the guy, the lifeguard, I thought he was gonna have a heart attack. He told me, he said, "Why did you pick this pool?" I said, "'Cause it's got water in it." You know, he said, "Why didn't you go to your pool?" I said, "Where's my pool?" He said, "Silver Springs." I said, "Where's Silver Springs?" I knew where it was, so he told me, but I figured, I had been back from Korea 2 weeks. I said, "This is great." I said, "This really makes my day." He said, "What do you mean makes your day?" He said, I said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Are you from Arkansas?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "That figures." So I said, "I'm not going to Silver Springs." I said, "I can go here, can I?" I said, "What's it cost?" He said, "It costs $0.25." I said, "Here's $0.25." I said, I'm gonna swim in this pool." He said, "Oh, okay, no problem." I said, "Thank you very much," and went swimming.
Mhm.
But things have changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, because they have integrated now. See, we
Yeah.
didn't go to an integrated school.
No.
Yeah.
School we went to was not integrated.
Which grade school did you go to?
Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Lincoln High School, which is OTC now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it, I'm thinking of the incident that happened in Ferguson 3 weeks ago now. There's a lot of young black people that feel that they are still discriminated against, that they don't have the opportunities. Do you think that that attitude is common in Springfield, or people are still frustrated with the lack of opportunity now, do you feel?
Well, as you know, they had a lynching here in Springfield.
That's right. Was that in 1906?
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
And
Yes.
that caused a lot of the blacks to move away from Springfield. A lot of them did. And
What happened? Did they move away permanently, or did they come back after a year or two, do you think?
oh, I don't think so. I think
No.
they moved away, and I don't know if they ever come back.
No, a lot of them just moved.
Yeah,
period.
really.
Just moved, period.
Because
Uh-huh.
see, it was like this. You had blacks that owned stores up on the square.
Yeah, there was a famous grocery store, wasn't there?
Right,
Yes.
a grocery store.
Yeah.
And down from, you had the barber shops and so on, so it's things, doctors,
Uh-huh.
lawyers and all that.
Yeah.
But when that happened,
Mhm.
most of them just moved. Yeah.
Yes.
Did it really, well, how did the black community recover from that?
They did.
They did, it was really, it's a permanent
Yeah.
scar.
As
Yes,
it
it's
did.
permanent.
really hasn't to this day.
Yes,
Uh-huh,
sure is.
yeah.
They did a thing on that here at SMU
Uh-huh.
called Many Thousand Gone.
Yes.
Oh, that history,
Yes.
Catherine-
Catherine
Catherine
Leonard's
Leonard.
history.
and that's what she meant, the people left.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh,
Yes.
uh-huh,
See, at one time Springfield was controlled by blacks and Indians,
uh-huh,
and that's when the
in the
hanging-
early days.
That's when the hanging came
Uh-huh.
in.
Oh,
See, it makes-
because it was a more inclusive community up
yes,
till 1906.
yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Then was it 1921 that there was all that violence, racial violence in Tulsa?
Tulsa.
Yes.
How did that affect the blacks that were still in here in Greene County?
Here in Greene
Did your
County.
parents ever talk about, oh, Tulsa was a bad?
Yes, they talked about it quite a bit. Because anything like that would happen, especially to blacks,
Yes.
they would talk about it to each other.
Yeah.
Things around like
Travel.
that. Yes, sir.
And what was sort of what were some of the topics that they talked about? With like, oh, this is terrible, this is a travesty, injustice, or was it like, well, we don't want that to happen here, and you know, how do we avoid that?
Good question.
Yes, it's a powerful question.
Yeah.
It's just kind of hard to say because, you know, we still have that thing of people being prejudiced. That's all. We still have.
Right.
it. It's
Divide
not
and
good.
conquer.
It's not going away.
Yeah.
So there you are.
Yeah.
I mean, well, some of the older ones like me, it doesn't bother me because I'm, you know, away from it. But you got young people coming out here to your school and all of this, you
Yeah.
know, and going to different schools and things,
Yeah.
and so I don't know how they're doing and how they're getting along. I haven't heard anything.
You think something like having this new cross-country road that was built in the late 20s, Route 66, helped Springfield in some ways, helped the community in any way?
Oh, I definitely believe that because you had people coming through here, people would stop, spend their money, stay overnight and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it helped, really, it helped Springfield.
Was it a big deal in its day when Route 66 was still the mother road?
It was a big day. It was a big day because, like I say, you come from St. Louis, you had to come through Springfield, you had to go to Carthage and Joplin,
Right.
and down in Oklahoma. You had to do that because that was main road.
That was the main road.
That was where you had to go.
Yes, sir.
Were there other minority-owned businesses in Greene County along Route 66, as you remember, whether it was a Chinese-owned business or?
Who were here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
back in the day.
It had to be. I think it was, but I don't think, we
You
paid
weren't-
too much attention.
You weren't too aware of other.
No.
Yeah.
No, because some of them you go to, and there's some they say. no,
Some you
no.
couldn't.
Mhm.
Uh,
So-
And it wasn't too long ago where you couldn't go to some restaurants here in Springfield.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It wasn't that long ago.
That you didn't feel welcome.
Well, not feel welcome, they would tell you you wasn't welcome. I don't care how you felt.
That's right. They were conveying a message.
They tell you you wasn't welcome, and that Taylor Drive-In was one of them. Over there on
Just to
Benton.
block off 66.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was one of them.
Hmm.
Cause we used to do shows for, who was it, a hamburger place, it used to be a hamburger place,
On Bonneville?
no,
Carney?
no, on Glenstone,
On Glitz.
Big Boys or.
Big Boys, yeah.
Big Boys or
Yeah.
one of them, and we used to do, when we had our show at KY3, we used to do shows for them.
Oh.
Yeah, see, we'd do commercials and then eat the commercials. Well, they'd send hamburgers down every day, you know, and so, hey, what are you gonna do? Throw them away?
Right.
Yeah.
But it was really kind of business by business, whether
Yes,
whether you,
I was growing at the time.
Yeah.
But in Springfield, I mean, it was just like you knew that
Yes.
I'm welcome here. I'm not welcome here.
Right, you know, you could go here and you couldn't go there, see?
Yeah.
And like, even at the train station,
Yes.
they have a little section where you
Where
could sit
to eat.
to eat. I didn't sit there to eat, it didn't make no difference to me. And when I got ready to go to the Army, the first thing they said over there on Boonville, over there across from Boonville over there, they said, everybody can come in for breakfast, but he can't. Big deal.
Yeah.
When you were in the Army.
I was just going in,
Oh.
getting ready to, like I said, Harry Truman was a friend of mine until he sent me that letter. And he sent me that letter, yeah, I met him. Oh, we met him.
Oh, yeah.
We met him.
We took pictures with him.
Took pictures with him, had dinner with him and everything.
Yeah. Where'd you have dinner with him?
Right here in Missouri?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was,
Up in Kansas City, Independence?
No,
or-
some little town right
Yeah.
down here,
was it
Bolivar or one of them places down
Could
there.
have been Lamar. He
No.
grew up in Lamar.
No, I know he grew
I
up
knew
in Lamar.
Yeah,
but it
but
wasn't
it was someplace close to those.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
town down here.
Someplace westy here.
And then we run into his grandson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His grandson about 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
I'd say 6 or
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Met him down in Marshfield.
Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he was just in town here earlier
He
this
was?
year. Yeah.
He was?
Yeah.
Well, I'll
I
be
had a
darned.
chance to meet him, yeah.
Well, I'll be darned. Yeah, we met him down there
Yeah.
in Marshfield.
Let me ask you one question about your singing group. How did you do business-wise, and how did you make the decision to finally stop recording and traveling?
Well, that was kind of made for us.
Yeah, we didn't.
How so?
Time takes care of everything
Yeah,
and everybody,
right.
and that's what it is.
Yeah, the business part was fair. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah.
well, anyway, it wasn't that.
Yeah.
But we stayed together until we started losing people. We lost one,
Uh-huh.
and a chick,
Yeah.
lost chick, and
Yeah.
then Moss, and then
Logan,
Logan.
Mhm.
yeah.
Those three.
And us two,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
we two,
Father Time.
that's it.
Yes, sir.
Father Time took care of us.
Wow. Uh-huh.
We had a good time.
Yeah. So how many years were you together Philharmonics.
Oh,
Since 40, they started, he
40.
started in 46,
46 to
And when was your last show?
84.
Wow.
it's
Yeah.
almost
84, as a group,
Right,
as a regular group.
right.
But we still got a little group we got together.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
three of
It's
us.
three
yeah.
of us.
Three. Uh-huh.
Three of us.
so what was that 38 years as the Philharmonics. you
About
know.
30 some years, yes.
Yeah.
That's a pretty great career.
Yeah, we did some things at Juanita K.
Uh-huh.
Not too
Yeah.
awfully long ago.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's great.
It's three of us.
Uh-huh.
In fact, we got an award from
From this,
school,
MSU?
from the
Yeah.
school.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's on YouTube.
yeah.
Oh, really? We're gonna have to look for that.
It's on there.
There's so much on the internet these days.
Oh boy,
yes.
I'm telling you.
You too, and all we have to do is just
Type in
Philharmonic,
Philharmonic, Springfield, Missouri.
They're still alive on the YouTube.
Still there, still alive on the YouTube.
Yes.
And the guy that's singing with us, his uncle
Uncle.
was our tenor.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, how great.
And sometimes it's scary.
Uh-huh.
He
'Cause he's good.
He sounds just like his
Sound
uncle.
like it. So.
Wow.
Yeah, he's scary. I told him, I said, you scare me
Have to
sometimes.
look at him every
Make
once in a
sure
while.
he's
Hey,
where he's
wait.
supposed to be.
Wow.
George, I wanted to ask you another question too.
Okay.
What was life like in Springfield during the Great Depression?
Hard.
You would have been let's see, you were born in 24, so you would have been,
Is in 1924.
so the stock market crashed, you were about 5, 6
Okay.
when it
Yeah.
crashed.
I
So
was born in 24, so I didn't know. Only thing, of course, my dad, our family kind of went through that.
yeah,
I
remember
was
times
born-
were tough.
Oh yeah, I was. If it was in 24, I was born in 1924.
Yeah, so it was, it was after 29, after the stock market crashed, and
Okay.
early 30s, so you would have been, probably 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, yeah. And at that time, of course, I was too young to know anything about it. But
It's just the way it was.
but I knew that our family was struggling.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you knew that. Even as a
Yes,
boy,
yes.
you realized that times were tough.
Yes, sir.
Were there soup kitchens in town?
Well, as young as I am,
Uh-huh.
I remember a soup line and no soup.
Wow. People waiting, hoping
Yeah,
food would show
my
up.
father and I, we walked over to the courthouse, and there was no soup. They were out.
Uh-huh.
So he came back home, picked up his gun, went out, killed some rabbits and stuff. We ate.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We ate good.
Uh-huh. Because your dad was a good shot.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That helped us a long time. I've eaten rabbit every way you can fix it. Believe me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I can't complain because I'm still here.
Yeah. You look really healthy and pretty vigorous.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You both do.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes. Sir.
Hey, one other question about Route 66 that I've always wondered about is, were there a lot of hitchhikers or not?
Yes.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes. Hitchhike and trains.
You ever pick up hitchhikers along Route 66?
No.
You never picked up anybody?
No.
Well, you didn't have
They
any
had a
room.
car full.
No.
You had three guys sleeping in the back. and-
Oh, and we were taught not to.
Oh.
Yeah.
When we
Too
were
dangerous?
It was
Yes.
dangerous at that time.
At that time, we didn't know, so we didn't pick them up.
Mhm.
But they had guys that rode the trains and everything else.
Yes.
I had a couple of brothers used to ride the trains.
Mhm.
So it's
Looking for work?
I don't know what they're doing. All right.
Just right.
They was out of here.
Looking for something.
Yeah, they was looking for something. Yeah. So we've had a good life, and it's been a prosperous life
Mhm.
because we learned things along the way.
Experience.
Yes.
We did.
It's who you know.
Yes.
Right? Now, what you know who?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
So with all this attention on Route 66 now, where people, you know, they travel Route 66 just for that experience.
Yes.
What do you think of that? Do you think, well, they're overblowing it, or they're missing the point, or?
No, they're missing something. There's something in there that they want. And the only way they can get it is get on old 66
What-
and ride a little bit.
What do you think it is?
It's all up here.
In the mind.
It's all up there. That's where it is.
Something that they feel like they're missing out on
Something they
Yes.
miss.
if they're on the interstate.
Right.
or-
Well, if someone tells you that something was good, you go try it. And then you find out, well, they lied to you. It wasn't that good. All right. It's people come here from all over the world just to ride Route 66.
Yeah.
They did.
They do. Yeah.
And I used to have a little car I used to show. And the first thing they told me was, you need to join the car club.
Yeah.
I said, what? They said Route 66.
Huh?
I said, been there, done that. I said, no.
You just want to drive your car.
Yeah, I had a 65 Mustang convertible.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
But you guys have the real memories of 66.
Yes.
And by and large, they're good memories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mostly good, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. And I wish old Speedy Hallworth was here. He'd tell you about Route 66. Because he used to tell people about how we used to go to them places and get food and have a picnic on the side of the road.
Uh-huh.
And he didn't believe it at first, and then he found out.
Yeah.
And then he told all his friends.
Yeah.
And then his friends said,
Mhm.
is it true? I said, what he's telling you is true. I said, he's not lying to you. He's telling you what's true.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
It's my
Appreciate
pleasure.
You
appreciate
guys
you
are great.
coming
Thank
in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But we've had a good time.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes.
Boy, it's
Yeah,
been
we're
good.
still,
It's been
still
good.
crawling along. doing it.
Did you ever do the Louisiana hayride?
No.
You know about it though?
Yeah, I know about it, but we never did that.
Yeah.
I tell you who I did talk to before I left Minnesota.
Bobby Lord?
No, not Bobby Lloyd, but the one that sang. He's in Duluth, Minnesota now.
Duluth.
Yeah, Marvin Rainwater.
Oh, Rainwater?
Rainwater. Yeah, he's in Duluth. Last I heard, he's in Duluth.
I thought he got killed.
No, he's in Duluth.
Which one is it?
I got his phone number.
I've lived in Minnesota. I say, well, that's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. There's dead or living in Duluth.
No, he's in Duluth. Oh,
They got some real winter up there.
That's right.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
I know.
yes.
Yeah.
My daughter lives in Cleveland. She's been trying her best to get me to come up there.
it's not. But you like it though.
It is. It's
There's
It's,
lots to do in
it's
it.
beautiful.
I didn't
Yeah.
like it.
They've fixed up
When it snows 2 feet on Halloween, and then the following Memorial Day, it snows enough to whiten the grass.
Yeah,
That
but
is
you gotta
too
be up
long.
there during Christmas when they're having the Christmas
Parade.
parade,
Yeah.
and when they're having they build a ice house,
Ice Palace.
Yeah,
ice palace
Where is this? In Duluth?
in St. Paul.
St. Paul.
Yeah,
Wow.
they
That
build
sounds neat.
they build a castle out of ice
Wow. They do that almost every year?
every year.
Every year.
Every year.
He's
That's
still
great.
crazy in my mind.
You're like my wife. My wife said no. As soon as we get able, she says we're out of here.
I spent 3 winters in Minnesota, and
You
that was
did?
enough. Yeah.
God.
Well, he's from Iowa. You probably are used
Yeah.
to
So this
some
is
real
like
What part of
that. I was in Mankato, Minnesota.
Oh, Mankato. Yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's
No,
nice. little town.
it's- That one summer we were there, it got above 80 degrees.
Yes.
3 times.
Yes. What about this year? This year it got up to 100 a couple of times.
Well, but some summers it never gets warm enough to swim outdoors.
And now they're talking about snow.
Yeah.
Now they're talking about the floods.
Yeah.
Now it rained. It rained. They had bad rains there.
Emo, what they call that? Emo is something that has a lot to do with the weather and everything.
Oh,
El Nino.
El Nino.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah,
fun
let's
though.
see.
I had fun.
You liked Minnesota, huh?
Yeah, I did. My wife didn't like it. She didn't.
See, I like coming down here where like, oh,
Yeah.
it snows 2 inches and everybody's like, this is
Were
nothing.
you all ever tempted to move to Nashville? To have, be based out of Nashville?
No,
No,
not really.
because you got enough jobs.
Yeah, we was getting jobs here, but we did television, radio, and records and everything right around here.
Uh-huh.
We did. We was on KGBX, KTTS, and KICK, and all those things around here.
You had your own show on
Yes, we had our
KY3.
own show on
Uh-huh.
KY3.
And
Right.
KY3, we was with Paul Mitchell.
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
KY3.
Sunday afternoons.
Was it Sunday? I think it was.
Yeah.
No, KGBX was Sunday.
So Sunday afternoon we did
but-
KGBX.
Oh, wow.
Paul Mitchell, you did that on the weekends. I mean, through the day, around 2 o'clock in the 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I could see why you didn't want to leave. You were busy enough.
Yeah, we stayed busy.
Oh, yeah.
Always
Yes.
live.
Really enjoyed meeting you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Always.
Always
Here,
live.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
you so-
Always live. Had a ball.
Yes.
Had a ball. I told you.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing the men by.
And